Well, PK here. Look at this. I'm in the fog. This is my last video with this. I mean, how bad can the production quality be? Well, this is as bad as it's going to be because I'm getting a new camera tomorrow. I can't take it anymore, so I apologize for this. You know what I call it? I call it being in the London fog. That's what it feels like. And you've been into London. You want to know what it looks like? It looks like this. Murky, cloudy, some fog all over the place. But look, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm a little bit under the weather. Who knows why? I'll look at this Punta Cana. If you look on my travel places to go, I mentioned Punta Cana's in the DR. I recommend it. But anyway, what we're going to talk about today and out of the box with slight headache and in the fog is, and I think this is, what inspired me was, when you're sitting around the weekend, I look around the YouTube, the channels and read people, and, there's a main articles about gold and silver and Bitcoin. And of course, the gold and silver articles grab me the most because they couldn't, in my eyes, they couldn't be more wrong. But anyway, what I want to talk about, which nobody has brought this up, especially on the gold and silver physical buyers and the whole thing about a squeeze and the futures market is a fake market. I know you've heard this argument over and over again. I hear it. And this is why I thought it just inspired me right now in the moment to explain to you, which is the topic of this short video on Out of the Box, which is, what is the purpose of a futures exchange? I mean, why is there an exchange? Why is there the COMEX, Chicago Board of Trade, Chicago Mercantile Exchange? The purpose of the futures exchange, number one, is to transfer the risk from the people who are in the business. In this case, if you're a producer of gold or silver, you want to mine, you can't run a business watching the prices fluctuate, so they allow you to hedge. And who takes the other side of the hedge are the speculators who make bets based on they think it's going to go higher or lower, and the person who owns that gold or silver mine is transferring the risk. They want to lock in the price to know, hey, this is the price I'm selling my silver. They're always a seller. Don't forget that in the gold and silver because they're in the business. I think the gold, from what I've been listening to, the bullion dealers can be buyers because they want to make sure they lock in the price. So if they're forced to buy coins for Monday morning, they'll go long over the weekend. But anyway, the purpose of a futures exchange, and the same with soybeans, coffee, cocoa, sugar, crude oil, is if you're in that business, same thing, you want to be able to transfer the risk. It gives you the opportunity. Now, does everybody do it? No, but most of them do. And that's who's also a participant in the futures market. Believe me, it is not it's not a method for delivery. The majority of the people trading in the futures market are not in this to take delivery of the soybeans, of the crude oil, of the silver, of the gold. Yes, there is some delivery of these things, but this is why you see when the volume would get closer to the month ends, they roll out to the next month, into the next 2 months, and 3 months. The point is, the futures market is not made to take delivery. So they make the argument, the paper contracts are 50 to 1, 100 to 1, 500 to 1 more than the actual. In this case, we'll talk about the silver and gold. So what? Most people are not taking delivery. That's not their intention to take delivery of any of these things. And it's interesting to note, nobody brings that point up. Nobody even discusses, why is there a futures market? They think it's some gambling thing. You look it up for yourself. What is the purpose of a futures exchange? And you'll see it's about the transfer of risk. Nothing about taking delivery. In fact, you want to talk about a squeeze in the silver, which I'm going to be doing a full update tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow goes down. But in general, look, we've had real one silver squeeze. And this was, most of you weren't even born then. This was in the late 70s. You can read about it. The Hunt brothers, some rich, fat slob brothers from Texas, they try to corner the silver market and the futures market. Exactly kind of what these, I call them conspiracy theorists, gold and silver, bullion dealers and stacking, and the whole thing is fake. The paper market's fake. It's the physical that's real. They did exactly this. They're the ones who are the only one who successfully were able to temporarily, of course, squeeze the silver and the gold follow. You know how they did it? They took delivery. They used the exchange for their purpose, and they felt by taking delivery, exactly what these people are saying. There's not enough. There'll be a scramble. Everyone's short's going to have to go long and long and long. And you know what happened to the price? You take a look back in history in the late 70s. That silver shot to, it's still the all-time high. I think it shot to $50. Gold at that time shot to around $850, $800, It followed in suit. I think platinum went over 1,000. But they successfully were taking, what they were doing is buying more contracts. And then what happened was the CFTC, they got wind of this. And what did they do? Well, you can say, why did the price crash? Why did it come all the way back down? Why did silver go from 50 in the late 70s? You see, this has nothing to do with the value of the dollar. The economy has nothing to do with it. Like I always tell you, commodity prices, currency, stocks, they go up for one reason: more buyers than sellers. There might be fundamentals behind these reasons. Of course there are fundamentals. But without buyers, it ain't going up. Without sellers, lots more sellers than buyers, it ain't going down. So what happened in the silver in the late 70s, it came crashing all the way down to $250. Now, how is that possible? Because what happened was the CFTC, I know the story. Remember, I was about 19 years old, 20 years old. I had a friend who was a bullion dealer in Beverly Hills. He sold gold and silver coins, and exactly like we see today. So I know it. I read about the story. It was so fascinating. They raised the margin. They kept up in the margin. All of a sudden, the Hunt brothers had so many positions, they couldn't pay for it. So what did they start doing? Of course, they had to sell them. And what does this do to the price? Big selling by the brothers. Everyone jumps in, the price came crashing down. Nothing to do with anything else but buying and selling. And tomorrow I will do an update on what's, as many of you read about this gold and silver, especially the silver squeeze coming and the May futures contract and blah, blah, blah. I'll save my opinion for tomorrow. But listen, I wanted to tell you, because nobody has addressed this issue, which is, what is the purpose of a futures market? It's not for the taking delivery. Only the Hunt brothers took advantage of it, and they were able to do it for a while. And also back then, they didn't have position limits. They lowered those. And let me tell you, since that time, there's not been any squeeze in any futures contract on any exchange since that Hunt brothers squeeze. Why? They want to make it sound like there's some group, globalists behind, or the banks are selling us silver and gold and keeping the price down. There's a bunch of, you know what. I can't say it here. I wish I could, but I can't. Anyway, so I hope I explained to you what the purpose of an exchange is. And listen, one of the other things that I wanted to mention is that, about the video, I apologize for the horrible quality. I'm doing it live. I don't want any production, no effects, because these things don't matter. In fact, as I'm sure many of you know, the slicker the production, that means they're trying to sell something. Sell a newsletter, sell bullion, sell something. Sell supplements, sell some membership. I'm not selling anything. I'm doing this strictly because I'm 62 and I wish my father, I didn't have a father to teach me, to tell you these things, to give me tips about the life. And I thought I can do this here now. The technology, I'm able to do this and it makes me feel good. And again, I'm not a believer in all this fixed up stuff. I kind of joke about it. I've mentioned other videos. Here in America, it's all about that. We're known as like a plastic people around the world. If you ask anybody outside of America, you go to a foreign country, they say, "What do you think about Americans?" They'll say usually two things. The women got plastic surgery, and I've never seen so much Botox, right? Number one, and they said, we can always spot an American. You know how in Europe? Just look at their teeth. They go way too strong with this teeth whitening. And I want to apply this really to making these videos. Do I have the skill and talent to make full production 3-camera shoot, make it look great for you guys? Of course. But why? Because these people who do these things, very few have something valuable that you can really use in practicality. You can use that in daily life. I'm trying to give you something that's simple and that you could use, that will help you. Whether it's in the trading, whether it's in dieting, whether it's in fitness, whether it's in traveling, the best beaches. It's things like this. Something crystal clear, something simple. Of course you make your own decision. But all I hear on all these sites are interviews of famous people giving them their opinion, blah, 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 blah. What is this doing for you? It's just another opinion. You want an opinion? Go ask your mother. Go ask your grandmother, your grandfather. Believe me, it's practically from the majority, not all. That's it. Of course, there's a few good people online. You can find them there, but they're very difficult to find. Anyway, this PK here with horrible headache right now. On Sunday, I'm going to put this up with another out of the box. It shows you how important the health is, because if you feel horrible, I don't care how much money you have, who your wife and spouse is, what type of life you have, you can do nothing. So for all of you, please take care of yourself. PK, out of the box. Speak to you tomorrow. Monday's a big day. I'm going to talk about the silver squeeze, and we're going to see, will there be a black swan swimming in the backyard of these people's pools? Is it really going to happen? Like many they're still on this silver squeeze. We'll see tomorrow. Ciao.